What do you do when you have too much of something, you can't use it all, and you don't want it to go to waste?
What about sharing it? Hi gardeners, we just talked about sharing what you might have too much of, and that's what we're going to do today. Remember a couple weeks ago we had taken our egg cartons, we filled them with soil, we put in some seeds, waiting for them to grow. Well, now those seeds should be called sets now because they've probably gotten to be about this high, and they're ready to be planted either out into your garden or in a container like what we've got right here. Now my friend Bree had planted a bunch of tomato plants, and she gave some to me. She had too many, so she's sharing. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take these tomatoes, probably just one of them, plant it in this container, and we're going to give it away. So let's get growing. When we talked about container planting, important thing about your container is that you need to drill holes in the bottom of it for good drainage. Now this bucket has already the holes all drilled in it. We filled it up with wonderful, wonderful soil that's full of mulch and good compost and a little bit of fertilizer. And to this, now we're going to dig a little hole and we're going to pop in one of our tomatoes. First thing we want to do is we're going to dig a nice little hole here for our set to go down in. All right? You gently want to just squeeze the bottom of your container. You're pushing the roots up. Put your fingers here to support that stem. You don't want to break your stem that's taken so nicely time to grow. You take your set. You want to just tuck in the dirt. Remember, you're just tucking this plant in now, right? You want to give it a nice new home in a big bucket. Those roots are going to start to expand out. Gently press down, just gently. You don't want to snap the stem or damage the roots. There you go. So the tomato plant is all tucked in, ready to be stabilized as it grows by a tomato cage, which we're just going to slip down into the soil all the way down to this first ring here. It's a perfect fit for this bucket. This tomato cage gives the tomatoes support as it grows. So as the vines come out over the top and the tomatoes come on, the weight of the tomatoes is supported by these rings. And believe me, this tomato is going to come up all the way in the top. And then you can trim off your leaves as it's growing up. So the plant puts more energy into growing the fruit, the tomato. So this cage comes in very handy.
So Miss Vickie has so nicely planted this beautiful little tomato set. But remember, you have to give him a nice drink.
Okay, our tomato is all planted and this share bucket is ready to be given away. But what we decided to do is make it a little bit more special. And we have added some fun things to this bucket. We put in some gardening gloves. We put in a nice little whirly gig that's gonna keep the bugs away. A trowel for digging. Hi, pony! Some frilly ribbons. And what we can do is also give some fun recipes that you will use with your tomatoes. All kid-friendly and very delicious.
As a special treat, Miss Vickie and I decided to ask Flora the garden gnome to deliver this beautiful share bucket.
Oh my goodness, what is this? Would you look at that? What does the note say? There's a note. You want to read it?
Alright, it says, "Here is a tomato plant from us to you. We hope it brings you pleasure and feeds you too. Enjoy from the Androscoggin Valley Farm to School." They're so thoughtful. Look at this. I wonder who gave us this stuff. Maybe that gnome? You think? That is so cool. They're so thoughtful. I love it. Thank you.